Joe Budden knows how to paint a picture. Whether he's rapping, podcasting, or telling stories from the past, he's got a way of turning regular moments into full-blown cinema. So when he recently spoke about running into 50 Cent at a New York Knicks game and the way things played out, fans were glued to every word. This wasn't just another celebrity sighting. This was tension, history, and ego all colliding in real time, with a twist that left everyone asking the same question: did 50 Cent leave early because of Joe? Now, to really understand why this moment hit different, you have to go back. Joe Budden and 50 Cent have never been best friends. They were never in full-blown beef, but there's always been a sense of distance, maybe even quiet competition. Both are from New York. Both are known for being brutally honest, and both have made more headlines from their mouths than their music at certain points in their careers. So when Joe walked into that game and saw 50 across the arena, the energy shifted. Joe told the story on his podcast, sitting with his crew, casually bringing it up like it was no big deal. But as he spoke, the layers started to show. He said he spotted 50 first, sitting courtside as usual, surrounded by his entourage, laughing, vibing, being 50. Budden, on the other hand, was a few rows back, out of the spotlight but close enough to catch the mood. According to him, they locked eyes for a second. Nothing crazy, just a brief look. But for guys like them, one look can say everything. Joe didn't flinch. He just nodded. That was it. But here's where things got weird. Not long after that moment, 50 Cent got up and dipped. Left the game early. Didn't say goodbye to anyone publicly. Just bounced. And Joe noticed. In fact, he made it clear. He couldn't help but notice. Because once 50 left, all the attention he was getting? Gone. The court cameras stopped swinging his way. The energy around that side of the arena dropped. That's the kind of presence 50 brings. And Joe, being who he is, couldn't help but analyze the whole thing. Did 50 leave because of Joe? That's the million-dollar question. Joe didn't say it directly, but he hinted at it. Said the timing was suspicious. Said it wasn't even halftime yet. And with a grin, he let the audience make up their minds. See, that's the Budden way. He doesn't force a narrative. He just drops the breadcrumbs and watches the internet run with it. And run they did. Twitter exploded with hot takes. Some said 50 didn't want any awkward face-to-face energy with Joe. Others joked that he probably had a dinner meeting, and this was all coincidence. But in this game, nobody believes in coincidences. What makes this story so entertaining is not just the possibility of silent tension. It's who these two men are. 50 Cent is a titan. Built his empire off music, movies, and relentless trolling. He's a master at making enemies uncomfortable without saying a word. Joe Budden, on the other hand, is the philosopher of hip-hop drama. He unpacks moments like a detective, turning everyday encounters into deep cultural conversations. So when they're in the same room, it's not just two celebrities watching a game. It's energy. It's posture. It's ego, pride, and history playing out in front of thousands. And what's wild is that the crowd had no idea they were watching something deeper than basketball. They saw two famous guys. But what was really happening? A quiet standoff. One nod. One early exit. And a whole lot of speculation. Joe, of course, isn't the type to chase confrontation. He's past that. He's not trying to fight in the tunnels or trade diss tracks in 2025. But he also doesn't back down. And the way he told the story, it was clear. He noticed everything. From the energy in the room to the timing of 50's exit. Joe read it all like a book. That's his gift. He pays attention when other people are just existing. And then there's 50. The man who once ended careers with one Instagram post. The guy who made get rich or die trying a lifestyle. He's not afraid of anyone. But he's also strategic. If he left early, it wasn't fear, it was a move. Maybe he didn't want to feed into any moment for the blogs. Maybe he had zero interest in sharing space with someone he doesn't rock with. Or maybe he just got bored. But in hip-hop, every move is read like a chess game. And when someone like 50 exits a public event early, people notice. The fans loved this story because it wasn't loud. It was smooth, mature, but still spicy. Two heavyweights in the same arena, both knowing exactly who the other is, both choosing to play it cool, but still giving us just enough drama to talk about. It's these kinds of stories that keep the culture alive, because they remind us that even when the music fades, the history doesn't. The energy, the competition, the pride, it's always there. Joe Budden turning this simple encounter into a full-on story on his podcast is part of why he's become such an important voice in the game. He knows how to tell it, how to give just enough to keep us guessing, and how to make everyday moments feel like episodes of a series we can't stop watching. Whether 50 really left because of Joe or not doesn't even matter now. What matters is that we're all thinking about it, talking about it, debating what really happened. That's the power of presence. And don't be surprised if 50 eventually responds. Not with a statement, but with a joke, a meme, or a random interview clip that somehow feels like a clapback. Because if there's one thing 50 knows how to do, it's control a narrative without ever looking pressed. And if he does say something, you can bet Joe Budden will break it down the next week on his show, bar for bar. This moment at the Knicks game wasn't about who won or who lost. It was about the unspoken rules of the rap world. Respect, territory, awareness, and whether you're courtside or a few rows back, the eyes are always watching, especially when two legends like 50 Cent and Joe Budden cross paths under the bright lights of Madison Square Garden. And just like that, what could have been a regular Tuesday night turned into another unforgettable chapter in hip-hop culture, thanks to a stare, a nod, and one early exit that said more than words ever could.